I spent weeks on cruises, and I have talked to people who have been on dozens of cruises, and I've found the real mistakes that ruin first-time cruise vacations. These are not basic tips you already know. These are the actual problems that catch people off guard and cost them money, sleep, and sometimes their entire trip. Let's go through all 18 of them. Mistake number 1. Flying in on the same day as your cruise. Here's what happens all the time. A family books a morning flight to save money on a hotel. The flight gets delayed. They rush to the port, but the ship is already gone. One person shared their story online. "We thought we'd save money by flying in the morning of the cruise. Bad idea. Our flight got delayed and we barely made it." Even if you do make it after a stressful rush, you start your vacation tired and stressed out. The solution is simple. Fly in the day before your cruise. Yes, you pay for one extra hotel night, but you get to explore the city, sleep well, and show up relaxed instead of running through airports. Think of that hotel night as the start of your vacation, not an extra cost. Mistake number 2. Picking your cabin without checking the location. This mistake costs first-timers their sleep for the whole trip. One traveler wrote online, "My cabin was at the front of the ship. I couldn't sleep because of all the rocking." Other cruisers told me the front of the ship is the worst spot for feeling the motion. But it's not just about motion. Bad cabin locations include right below the pool deck, where you hear chairs dragging at 6 a.m., next to the elevator, where you hear noise all night, above or below the nightclub, where bass shakes your walls until 3 a.m., near the anchor area at the front, where loud chains drop at 4 a.m. in every port. Before you book, look up the deck plans for your ship. Pick a cabin in the middle of the ship on a lower deck. Make sure there are other cabins above and below you, not public areas like restaurants or clubs. Search online for your ship name plus cabins to avoid before you book anything. Mistake number 3. Booking a guarantee cabin to save money. First-timers see guarantee or GTY cabins and think they found a deal. You pay less money, but the cruise line picks your room for you. Here's the problem. They give you whatever room nobody else wanted. One cruiser wrote, "We got stuck at the front of the ship where the motion is worst. My wife gets seasick." Another said, "We were traveling as a family, hoping for rooms next to each other. We ended up on completely different floors." Guarantee cabins are how cruise lines fill their bad rooms. That small discount might put you next to the engine room, under the jogging track, or in a room every experienced cruiser knows to avoid. If you get seasick, have specific needs, or are traveling with a group, never book a guarantee cabin. Pay the extra money to pick your exact room. Mistake number 4. Not knowing the real cost of your cruise. That $299 cruise price looks amazing until you see your final bill. Here's what first-timers don't expect. Daily tips are $18 to $25 per person per day. For a family of 4 on a 7-night cruise, that's around $700 you didn't plan for. Service charges are separate from tips. There's an 18% charge on drinks, spa visits, and extras. One cruiser said, "I already paid my tips in advance, but they charged me again at the spa." Wi-Fi cost $15 to $20 per day for each device. Drinks add up fast. Soda is about $4 each. A cocktail is $14 plus that 18% service charge. Port fees and taxes are often $150 to $250 per person and only show up at checkout. One Reddit user put it perfectly. Cruise prices are really just mostly included with lots of extra charges. When you budget for a cruise, add 50 to 70% to the advertised price to know what you'll actually spend. Mistake number 5. Not knowing the difference between departure time and all-aboard time. This is the mistake that creates pier runners. The departure time is when the ship leaves, but the all-aboard time is 30 to 60 minutes earlier. That's when you need to be back on the ship. One first-timer said, "I thought departure time was when I needed to get back. I got lucky because I came back an hour early anyway." But here's what makes it even trickier. The ship might be on a different time zone than the local port. Your phone automatically changes to local time, but the ship doesn't care about local time. So you think you have plenty of time, but you're actually already late. Before you leave the ship, set your watch to ship time. Set an alarm for 2 hours before all aboard. Never trust your phone's automatic time when you're in port. Mistake number 6. Booking cheap tours without a backup plan. A family of 9 got stranded in Alaska because their tour company made a mistake and brought them back late. The ship left. They had to pay thousands for hotels and flights to catch up with their cruise at the next port. Here's what you need to understand. If you book a tour through the cruise line and it runs late, the ship will wait for you. If they really can't wait, they'll pay to get you to the next port. If you book a tour on your own and you're late, the ship leaves without you. Your stuff sails away. You're on your own. One cruiser talked about picking a cheap $40 beach trip in Mexico. It was us and 500 other people crammed onto a tiny beach. Next time, I'm paying for something better. Either book through the cruise line or use outside tours that promise to get you back on time. And always give yourself a 2-hour buffer before all aboard. Mistake number 7. Thinking all-inclusive means everything is free. First-timers hear all-inclusive dining and think all food is free everywhere. Then they get surprised. The main dining room and buffet are included. But those other 8 restaurants on the ship? Many charge $45 to $160 per person for dinner. Room service used to be free. Now most cruise lines charge $8 to $10 per order. Fancy coffee drinks? That's $5 to $6 each. One new cruiser said, "I booked so many expensive restaurants before I realized the free restaurants had amazing food I never got to try." On your first cruise, start with the free options. The main dining room serves 3-course meals with different menus every night. Then, try one paid restaurant to compare. You might find out you don't need to spend extra money at all. Mistake number 8. Ignoring how many sea days are in your trip. First-timers often pick a cruise based only on which ports it visits. They don't pay attention to how many days the ship is just sailing, with no stops. Then they get on board and find out they have 3 straight days at sea with nothing planned. Some people love sea days. They relax, go to the spa, and watch shows. Others get bored by the second day. Some cruises that cross the ocean can have 10 to 12 days in a row with no port stops. If you don't plan activities for those days, you'll go crazy. For your first cruise, pick one with a good mix. A 7-night Caribbean cruise with 2 or 3 sea days is a good way to test if you like them before booking a longer ocean crossing. Mistake number 9. Not checking in online before your cruise. I've seen this happen many times. A family shows up at the cruise terminal excited for their trip, but they spend an hour filling out paperwork while everyone else walks right onto the ship. Cruise lines now require you to check in online up to 45 days before your cruise. You upload passport information, pick your dining times, and choose when you want to board. One cruiser said, "I entered all our passport info in the app, or so I thought. Only mine went through. My husband and daughter had to go through a longer process that could have been avoided." And here's another problem. Some cruise lines, like Carnival and MSC, need printed boarding passes. Showing it on your phone won't work. Check in online as soon as you can. Look at both the website and the app to make sure everything's saved correctly. And print your boarding pass, even if it feels old-fashioned. Mistake number 10. Going straight to the buffet when you board. The ship opens. You're hungry. You follow everyone else to the buffet, and you find chaos. Long lines, nowhere to sit, and food that's been sitting out. Experienced cruisers do something different. On Carnival ships, they go to Guy's Burger Joint for a fresh burger with no wait. On Royal Caribbean, they go to Park Cafe for roast beef sandwiches. The main dining room is usually open until 2 p.m. on the first day, with real waiter service and actual seats available. Here's an even better tip. While everyone fights over the buffet, the pools and hot tubs are empty. Pack your swimsuit in your carry-on bag, grab a quick bite at a quiet spot, and enjoy the pool before the crowds show up. Mistake number 11. Thinking you won't get seasick. I've never been seasick before, so I'll be fine. People say this all the time. Then they feel sick on the first night. Modern cruise ships have systems to reduce motion, but rough waters still happen. Even people who've never had problems can suddenly feel queasy. One cruiser shared, "I took my girlfriend on her first cruise. She felt sick the first night even though she thought she'd be fine." The problem is that once you're out at sea, your options are limited. The ship's medical center charges over $100 just for a visit. Motion sickness medicine costs way more on the ship than at home, if they even have it. Bring your own supplies from home. Pack Dramamine, Sea-Bands, or ginger candies. Put them in your carry-on bag. Even if you never use them, you'll be glad you have them. And remember, rooms in the middle of the ship on lower decks feel the least motion. Mistake number 12, not bringing cash. I can put everything on my cruise card, right? Mostly, yes. But cash is still important. In many ports, small shops and local markets don't take credit cards. Street food vendors want cash. Small tour operators want cash. Your tour guide, taxi driver, and beach workers all expect cash tips. And the ATMs on the ship, they charge huge fees. And sometimes, they don't even work. One cruiser posted, "Both ATMs on board were broken for the first few days. I had no cash at all." Also, tipping your bartender cash gets you faster service when the pool bar is crowded. Bring $20 to $30 in small bills for each day you're in port, plus some extra for tips on the ship. Mistake number 13, packing too much or too little. First-timers often pack for every possible situation. Rain gear, formal clothes, gym clothes, beach stuff, hiking shoes. Then they get to their cabin and realize it's tiny. The closet barely fits anything. And they only wore half of what they brought. One cruiser admitted, "We brought our biggest suitcase and only wore half of what we packed." But packing too little causes problems too. Cruise ships have formal nights. Some restaurants require dress codes, and it gets cold on deck at night. That ocean wind cuts right through you. Pack clothes that mix and match. Bring one dressy outfit. Bring layers for cool evenings. And check if your ship has laundry rooms. Many do, which means you can pack less and wash your clothes during the trip. Mistake number 14, skipping the sail-away party. Your room is ready. You want to unpack your bags and take a shower. Don't do it yet. The sail-away party is one of the best moments of your cruise. There's music playing, drinks flowing, and the coastline slowly disappearing. This is when your vacation really starts. If you miss it, you can't get that moment back. One cruiser said, "I went to unpack while everyone was on deck celebrating. I heard the ship horns, looked out my window, and realized I missed the whole thing. I was so disappointed." Your clothes aren't going anywhere, but the ship pulling away from port only happens once. Go to the party. Unpack later. Mistake number 15, not downloading the cruise app before you leave home. Every big cruise line has an app now, and you really need it. The app shows your daily schedule, when restaurants are open, what shows are playing, and any updates. You can message your family for free. You can book dinner reservations and spa appointments. You can see how much money you've spent. But first-timers wait until they're on the ship to download it. The ship's internet is slow, and downloads take forever, or don't work at all. Download the app at home before your trip. Create your account. Connect it to your booking. Learn how to use it. When you need to find your family on a ship with 6,000 people, that app makes all the difference. Mistake number 16, leaving your phone data turned on. This one sneaks up on people. The ship sails away. You're posting photos online. You're texting friends. Then a few days later, you get a message saying you owe hundreds of dollars. Cruise ships use special rates that cost way more than regular international plans. Your normal phone plan probably doesn't cover being in the middle of the ocean. One cruiser posted, "I forgot to turn off my data. I got a text saying I was being charged $20 for just 50 megabytes. As soon as you board the ship, put your phone on airplane mode. Use the ship's Wi-Fi if you need internet. And check with your phone company about cruise ship charges before you leave home. Mistake number 17, booking an early flight home on your last day. Your ship gets back to port at 7 a.m. You book an 11 a.m. flight home. That's 4 hours, so plenty of time, right? Wrong. Getting off a cruise ship is not like getting off an airplane. Thousands of people are going through customs at the same time. Luggage is being sorted and handed out. This can take 2 to 4 hours. Then you still need to get to the airport, go through security, and find your gate. One experienced cruiser explained, "First-timers see the ship arrives at 7 a.m. and think they can catch a morning flight. Then they panic while watching their flight leave without them. Don't book any flight before 2 p.m. on your last day. If possible, stay one more night and fly out the next morning with no stress." Mistake number 18, not checking your bill until the last day. Here's how it happens. You swipe your cruise card without thinking about it. A drink here, a photo there, a fancy dinner, a spa treatment. Then, on your last morning, you see your total bill. The number is way higher than you expected. One cruiser shared, "The family we were traveling with made this mistake. They spent their last morning in a long line at guest services trying to fix their bill. That last morning is the worst time to deal with problems. Everyone else is doing the same thing, and the line is out the door. Check your spending every day. Most ships let you see your balance on your room TV or in the app. If something looks wrong, go to guest services right away. Don't wait until the last day when everyone else is there too. Here's the truth about cruising. Once you get past the learning curve, it's one of the best ways to travel. You visit multiple places. Your hotel room travels with you. And there's something special about waking up with a new port outside your window. But that first cruise can make or break your opinion of cruising forever. Some people have a rough experience and never cruise again. Others fall in love with it immediately. The difference is being prepared. Now you know what the cruise lines don't tell you. You know what the pier runners learned too late. You know what thousands of first-timers wish someone had warned them about. You're ready for your first cruise. If this video helped you avoid even one of these mistakes, hit that like button and subscribe. Tell me in the comments which of these surprised you the most.